Hey, Todd Burrier from toddburrier.com, and today I'm going to talk about a really, really important leadership attribute that you can begin demonstrating right away. And you probably already do demonstrate this, but I want you to understand how important it is, how valuable it is. And this is a sort of a sweet spot for me. I've been teaching leadership to corporations for years, and all of that came out of my network marketing business, which is quite unique. But I'm passionate about this space. I've studied it and taught it for many, many years. And I know that anyone can become a leader. It's in everyone. It's just a function of you understanding that you are going to lead based on your set of gifts and abilities, and then understanding the right, blend of character and competence that you develop that fits your leadership style. But regardless of who you are and what your style is, there is one trait that everybody in leadership has got to demonstrate, and that is the trait of humility. And so, some people mistake humility for weakness or meekness. That is not it at all, right? It's a matter of fact, I don't know who said it, but people of humility don't think less of themselves. They just think of themselves less, right? So that's an important thing to understand, is that having a humble spirit and having humility is attractive. It's attractive. And so, I'll give you a quick example. I was working with a really cool organization, big worldwide, $7 billion company worldwide. And I was doing some leadership training for some of their leadership. And I came up with this trait about, how people, arrogance, difference between arrogance and humility. Just to give you a picture here, if someone is arrogant, it offends people, and and everybody's going to fall, right? Nobody's going to go through leadership and through life without a misstep, right, or a mistake, or what goes up comes down a bit, right? That happens, and so I'm talking about how when an arrogant person falls, nobody runs to pick them up. Everybody's like, okay, you probably deserve that, pal, right? But when a humble person falls, everybody picks them up. They're like, hey, are you okay? Can we help you out? And I'm giving this example, and one of the students was like, I'm not sure I agree with you. He said, I want to follow a leader who's got some arrogance, knows what they're going to do and has a high belief, right? And I'm like, okay, let's talk that out. And so we talked it out. What really he was describing was confidence, which is entirely different. Confidence and arrogance are not the same thing, right? Arrogance is about self-importance, right? It's like the world can't function without me because I'm so great, right? That is, self-importance sucks, right? That's not, nobody likes to be around a self-important, pompous person, right? Confidence is different. Confidence is belief in your ability. That's an entirely different animal. Yes, you want confidence. You want a leader who has confidence. Matter of fact, you want a leader who has humility and confidence, right? That's a great blend. So in case you didn't know, that's the difference between those two things. So the bottom line is that, you're going to have ups and downs. Matter of fact, you've already had downs. You can't have downs and grow your business. You can't. If you're brand new, you're having more days that are tough for you than great, right? Because you're still learning your way. You don't know what you're saying. People are responding in a certain way. You're feeling like a fish out of water. You're early in your learning curve. That's okay, right? I mean, that's part of it. And so the issue comes when people start to have some success and they start to get their ego into it and look, hey, I'm the greatest. I'm the reason, right? I am the reason everything is happening, right? No, you're not. It's because, you've been doing your work, but you have people that are growing. And that's what it is, right? Your job is to grow people. Right? So humility is this huge, important, attractive. I want you to grow an organization where as you lead it, doesn't matter how big it is, but as you lead it, people they love you. They love you and they want to be with you, and you're going to serve them, and they'd never consider leaving you. That's why I'm all about teaching the long term. So I'm going to give you 5 really quick little things here on this topic. One is growing people is your number one job, right? Growing people is your number one job. And that means that people have to feel comfortable with you, right? You're not growing anybody who's afraid of you. You're not growing anybody who doesn't like you, right? That's just the reality. And so You don't always have to be friends, but you have to be friendly, right? So think about that. So number one is your job is to grow people. You grow your people, everything else will happen. That's just the way it works, because the more you become, the better you do. That's how life works. Number two, it makes you more attainable, right? When you're humble and you're not, oh, I'm the greatest. I'm just a regular guy. Hey, I'm just a regular guy. That's who I am. That's way more attainable than, hey, I'm a great speaker. I'm a fabulous speaker, and I command audiences, and I do this, and I'm a really good prospector. That feels a whole lot different, right? Than, hey, I'm just an everyday guy. The truth is, I'm an everyday guy. Have I developed skills? Yeah. Have I worked my behind off to do that? Yeah. Have I made a lot of mistakes? Yeah. Do I have a lot of issues? Yeah. Right? So biggest mistake is relates to the next thing I'm going to say. Because the reason I talk about attainable is inspiring, right? Because if people can connect to you, they're like, okay, I could be like that too. That's exactly what you want. That's how you want people to be wired. And so that means you have to be vulnerable. You have to be imperfect. And, imperfect is huge anyway from an authenticity perspective, because nobody is perfect. And so, for any leader to try to present themselves as someone who doesn't make mistakes and has no weaknesses, they're only fooling themselves. The people around them see their mistakes. They see their weaknesses. They already know it, right? And so now you're inauthentic and unapproachable. So being vulnerable, sharing your imperfections, sharing your mistakes, hugely important. Your stories of struggle. Your stories of struggle are connectors, right? And hey, never forget where you came from, right? This wasn't an easy road. It's not an easy road for you right now, depending on where you are. You're probably early in your journey. If you're early in your journey, your road's not easy. Don't forget that. Always remember where you came from. I never forget it. Never. And I have no problem sharing it all the time. And then ask for their help. Say, hey, help me out with this, right? You do a lot for someone right there. Hey, help me out with this. Or, hey, what do you think of this? Or, right? You start involving them. And then I'll give you one more nugget here, and that is the window versus the mirror. So think about this. When things aren't going as well as you want in your work, I want you to look in the mirror. I want you to look in the mirror. Don't blame those people. Look in the mirror. What are you doing? When things are going really well, I don't want you to look in the mirror. I want you to look out the window. I want you to look out the window and look at the people and say, and cheer them on and encourage them and praise them and recognize them and thank them, right? Because when your business is growing, are you working hard? Yup, but it's really growing because a lot of other people are too. So just remember that. So humility, powerful trait, one that you can never forget. If you ever find yourself steering away from it, now that you hear it, think about it. Start looking around you. Look at some of the leaders around you. Look at the ones that you like and the ones that you don't. And I guarantee you, humility will be something, for the most part, that the ones you like possess and the ones you don't. So, hope that was helpful. Feel free to share this. If you've never seen my leadership book, Leading with Heart, I'm telling you it's the best. I'm telling you it's the best book in the industry on leadership. Not because I'm arrogant, but because I'm confident. I know how good that book is. I've had unbelievable response from it, and I've taught a lot of that in university curriculums for networking companies. So, hey, great to have you here, and make sure you sign up for my blog at toddberry.com, and I'll see you next time.